Welcome to Sleep and Color Stories, a place of calm, creativity, and gentle restoration. Tonight you are invited to sink into the warm, soothing embrace of a long, peaceful bath, where every sound, scent, and sensation guides you into tranquility. Find your most comfortable position, letting your body soften and relax. Close your eyes. Inhale slowly and exhale fully, releasing the weight of the day. In this story, you will explore the quiet luxury of your bath, the gentle warmth of water on your skin, the delicate fragrance of candles and night-blooming jasmine, and the soft, soothing sounds of dripping water and gentle music. Let each sensation wash over you, allowing your mind and body to release tension completely. You are safe, you are nurtured, you are exactly where you need to be. Let the story guide you into a state of serene calm and deep restorative sleep. Part 1. Preparing the Sanctuary. You enter the bathroom as if crossing the threshold of a small moonlit chapel, and the door sighs shut behind you like a book closing at the end of a gentle chapter. The room is soft and pretty by design, porcelain pale as clouds, walls washed in a tender blush that looks like morning lingering into night. A narrow window framed in gauzy linen that dims the world to a luminous whisper. Outside, the sky is a deep blue bowl sprinkled with stars. The moon leans near the glass, curious, a companion. Inside, every surface seems to glow with an inner kindness. The tub curved like a white shell, a small wooden stool that holds folded towels, a low tray where candles rest in quiet congregation, a vase with a few wildflowers, some fresh and dewy, some already beginning to fold themselves into sleep. You do not hurry. You place your hand on the cool porcelain rim of the tub and feel its promise, the way it holds warmth, the way it reflects light, the way it is ready to cradle you the moment water begins its song. The faucet gleams. A single droplet trembles there and releases with a soft, clean note that taps the surface of your anticipation. Somewhere beyond the window, a cricket tries a shy violin. A distant car passes, dissolving into the hush. The night itself seems to press its ear to the sill, listening for your first movement. You set down what you have brought, a bar of soap wrapped in paper that rustles like a secret letter, a small bottle of bath oil the color of honey, a jar of velvet salts that catch the light, a pale washcloth that has dried into the shape of a folded wing, a brush with soft bristles, and a candle that smells faintly of vanilla and the memory of someone's gentle kitchen. Each item has weight and purpose, but more than that, each is a token of tenderness, a way to say to your body, you are cared for, you are worthy of care. You open the window a little. Cool night air walks in on quiet feet, bringing the scent of dew that has begun to settle on the lawns and leaves, the faint sweetness of wildflowers that still releases their perfume in darkness, and from somewhere farther, maybe a garden, maybe your own imagination, the hush of night-blooming jasmine, soft as a reassuring hand on your shoulder. The curtain lifts and falls with the movement of air, a slow breath the whole room participates in. You draw the curtain shut again, but leave that sliver of night open so the music can reach you. The distant owls speaking in low, patient syllables, the gentle crossing of leaves against leaves, the soft water voice of the neighborhood settling into itself. It is the kind of sound that has no sharp corners, the kind that slips under the door of your mind and smooths everything you didn't realize had become crumpled. Now the candles. You set one on the tray near the tub, another on the counter where the basin sleeps, and a third on the windowsill beside a small bowl of seashells you picked up last summer, spiraled homes that remember the hush of tides. You strike the match. The flame flares, then steadies, a small sun easy to look at. You shelter the newborn flame with your hand and touch it to the first wick. The wick accepts, drinks, and glows. You light the second, then the third, and the room becomes a soft constellation of amber light. Shadows grow rounder, edges blur, surfaces begin to look less like things and more like ideas. Warmth, welcome, ease. The scents awaken with the fire. Vanilla lifts first, warm, round, generous, followed by a ribbon of jasmine that threads invisibly through the room, and then the clean mineral hush of the salts when you loosen their lid. You bring the jar close. Let its cool, pearly breath rise to meet you. It smells like a beach at dawn, like stone and driftwood and the space between waves, and in the background, the soft sweetness of something floral, perhaps the wildflowers in the vase sending gratitude into the air. Your hands move with ceremony. You fold the towels and place them on the little stool. The thick bath sheet, a smaller towel for hair, a robe that waits like a gentle promise. You touch each one as if blessing it. The fibers remember warmth from the sun where they dried earlier, and even now there is the faintest sweetness of cotton and wind in them. You place the brush within reach and the washcloth at the tub's far curve, so you will not have to reach it later when you are supple and quiet and unwilling to chase anything but the rest. The water. You turn the handle and listen. It begins as a hesitation, a gathering, then flows with surety, clear, bright, talking to the enamel in a language of small glassy notes. You test the temperature with the back of your wrist, then your palm, and adjust by a few careful degrees until warmth climbs through your skin as though it were a light finding a path. Steam begins to rise, a gauze that softens everything it touches. The mirror welcomes a breath mist that turns your reflection to a watercolor, a friendly stranger softened by kindness. You add a handful of salts, and the water embraces them, clouding a little, then clearing as crystals dissolve into invisible generosity. You tilt the bottle of oil and watch as a thin golden thread unspools and curls into the stream. It blooms into soft whorls that the tap churns into silk. The surface shivers with rainbows so subtle you have to tilt your head to see them. Bubbles whisper at the edges, modest little domes that peep and pop, each release a small sigh like a secret set free. The scent deepens, vanilla's warmth braided with jasmine nocturne in the clean hush of salt and stone, and beneath it all, the pure metallic sweetness of water itself, so simple, so faithful. You stand for a moment simply watching the bath become itself. How rare it is to witness a vessel fill with softness and know outwardly what your inner reservoirs have longed for. The night leans in, the candles glow, the steam makes halos above them that grow and vanish. Time unspools its tight braid and falls loose around your shoulders. You move to the mirror and meet your softened reflection. There you are, present and precious, lit from the outside by flame and from the inside by something quieter. You study your own face the way you'd study a loved one's, without criticism, searching only for signs of life and tenderness. You notice the curve of your cheek, the slight shadow where laughter has visited, the thoughtful lines by your eyes that are really just the evidences of looking closely at the world. You place your hand over your heart and wait. Your heartbeat arrives to greet your palm, steady and patient. I am safe, you think. I am loved. The words do not have to be loud to be true. You let them stay. You reach for the soft music you have chosen, perhaps a piano whose notes behave like drifting leaves, perhaps an ambient swell like far-off tides, something without edges, something that lets the room breathe a little slower. The first chord rises, and the candles answer by glowing as if they understand. The water swirls and hushes. The faucet becomes a small waterfall, and the tub a quiet cove. The music climbs the steam and disappears into the shadow near the ceiling, leaving a shimmer in the air. You undress without hurry, folding what you remove as if clothing were a gentle animal you care for. Skin meets air, and the room responds with 100 small sensations you are suddenly free to notice. The tender coolness on your shoulders, the flicker warmth of candlelight touching the curve of thigh and hip and arm, the faint tickle of a stray hair as it drifts and settles. You bare your feet and place them again on the tile. The tile is cool, a bowl of lake water beneath each sole, and you shift your weight to acknowledge it. You are here, wholly. You arrive as if you have walked a long way to meet someone faithful who has been waiting. The bath is ready now, deep, clear, holding light the way the night holds stars. You turn off the tap, and the last thread of water falls and dissolves into the hole. Suddenly the room is very quiet, and into that quiet you hear detail, the tiny echo of a droplet still clinging to the spout, the almost inaudible fizz of a bubble near the far rim, the open window letting in the night's sighing breath, the low murmur of music like a tide that kneels and rises. You touch the surface with your fingertips. It is warm in a way that feels like permission. You draw your hand through, and the water closes around you and behind you without judgment, just tenderness. You step in, one foot, then the other, and your calves are surrounded, then your knees, and soft rings of warmth climb your thighs, welcome laden. You lower yourself, and as you do, the tub makes the small porcelain creaks of a house settling into night. You lean back against the slope and find the spot where your shoulder blades meet support and your neck is a swan in a sanctuary. And then the water finds your waist, your ribs, the careful architecture of your breath. You close your eyes. The lids grow apricot from the candlelight. The sounds change and become less outward and more womb-like. Water negotiates gently with skin, smoothing every sharpness, teaching every muscle a new alphabet that has only one letter, and it is O. Open. Your legs float a little, then settle. Your hands drift, then rest at your sides. Your hair begins to loosen its memory of day and becomes something that belongs in rivers. You sink another breath's depth. The body answers with a slow exhale that seems to last a very long time. It leaves you through parted lips, and you hear it as if it were someone else's relief, and you are happy for them. The breath carries out of you what is finished, the small, unfinished lists, the phrases you wish had landed differently, the thought you didn't need to carry, the weight you took on because you are kind. The water receives all of it and is unchanged except for being more yours. Your mind, touched by warmth, begins to widen, the way dusk widens into night without ever breaking anything. Images soften, the day's crisp outlines fog down into watercolor, and what remains are the colors, the gold of a kind word, the gray-blue of effort, the soft green of a private joke that stayed with you, the white space of silence that was welcome. The music strokes these colors, and they blend into the kind of evening sky painters try to catch and never quite can, because it is not for catching, it is for lying inside. You open your eyes again and look around as if the room has been remade while you rested. It has. Steam has written faint vines on the mirror, candlelight has annealed the shadows, and the window has become an altar to the moon. The vase of wildflowers has condensed. Tiny beads of water gather at the tips of petals and slip down like slow tears of happiness. You reach for the washcloth and soak it. It collapses into your palm with gratefulness, heaviness. You lift it to your face and lay it there, a warm mask that turns your skin into a quiet lake. With eyes covered, sound grows louder in the best way. The slow stir of water with each breath, the whisper of the curtain in a light draft, the far, far music of the world outside not asking anything of you. You remove the cloth and place it on your throat, your collarbones, the slope of your shoulder, an offering to each landscape of you. The warmth moves inward. Your muscles bring their chairs closer to the fire. Your thoughts take off their shoes. I am safe, you think again, not because you are trying to convince yourself, but because safety is a flavor and you are tasting it everywhere. In the heat that does not scald but invites, in the scents that do not overwhelm but bloom, in the sounds that do not intrude but accompany. I am worthy of this, you add, because sometimes the simplest doors are the ones we forget to open. The handle turns easily. It was never locked. You reach for the soap and roll it in your palms. It is smooth as a stone polished by a river, shaped by habit into the curve of your hand. The fragrance lifts, clean, floral, a suggestion of citrus like the idea of sunlight visiting the night. Lather rises, a little architecture of bubbles that carry rainbows for a moment before becoming nothing but slick silk. You place the soap down and let your palms move with the kindness you are practicing and also already knew. Arms first, the long meadow of them, and the patient hills of shoulders. The small garden between throat and heart where relief blooms. You dip the cloth and squeeze a warm rain along your collarbones, and it runs like lines of poetry you do not have to understand to be moved by. Time, a gentle animal, has curled near the base of the tub and fallen asleep. You feel no push, no schedule value, only the measured meter of breath and the small bell notes of water lapping the rim. You tilt your head back until your hair drinks and the hot silk of it moves over your scalp like 10,000 tiny hands reminding you that your mind is not only a tool, but a place to rest. You bring your head up slowly, and the water runs from the ends in silver lines. The sound of that dripping is clean and letter perfect, each drop punctuating a sentence you did not know your body was writing. Here, now, enough. You rub a trace of oil between your fingertips until it warms and opens like a flower. You press it gently at your temples, along the arc of cheekbones, behind ears where the skin is thin and the world's noise sometimes lingers. You follow the jawline as if smoothing the words you no longer need to say. You touch the sternum with the tenderness one uses to wake a sleeping child. The scent rises, honeyed, light, a little like summer leaning into evening, and your chest answers by unbuttoning another measure. You are not a task. You are not a problem to solve. You are a field warmed by late sun and taken in slowly by someone who loves it. The candle on the windowsill flutters, and a ribbon of wax slides down its side and stills. You watch it cool into a pale teardrop that shines. The stars outside rearrange themselves into the old, patient patterns you've known since you were small. The ladle, the belt, the W that is a crown if you turn your head. And it comforts you to see how the sky remembers itself night after night. You think, without needing to say it out loud, I am remembered too. The thought sets something right and simple inside you, like a book placed back on its shelf. When you reach for the brush, your hand moves as if it had already been told what to do. The bristles are soft and sure. They move over your arm in slow strokes that speak a language older than words, up toward the heart each time as if all roads were pointing home. You brush water, you brush warmth into the skin, you brush away the little static that sometimes gathers where tenderness has been postponed. Your skin glows even in candlelight, the way polished wood glows after careful care, and you understand without thinking that care is not vanity. It is a way of telling the body, thank you, I noticed. The music finds a new phrase, quiet or still, which you would not have thought possible, and you realize your breathing has jointed exactly, a duet so exact it feels like one voice learning to sing in harmony with itself. You speak softly, barely shaping the words, I belong. They land on the surface of the water with no splash at all and disappear into the warmth, absorbed, believed. The bath holds you the way a good night holds a house. The room's details blur to essentials. Glow, scent, curve, hush. A moth visits the glass of the window and taps once, twice, like a friendly neighbor reminding you that some creatures carry their own pale lanterns. You half smile without trying. Your face had been waiting to do that. When you are ready, and the readiness is not a decision but a tide, you slide a little deeper until the water kisses the lower edge of your ears and the world moves as though you were listening from inside a seashell. Every sound becomes round. The breath, the tiny lick of flame, the far, far cricket. You could sleep here, you think, and perhaps you will for a few breaths, the kind of sleep that is more like being well watered than forgetting. A final small ceremony. You gather your hands at your heart and rest them there, feeling the slow drum that has walked you through the day without once asking for thanks. You offer the thanks anyway. In the quietest voice inside, you say, thank you, body. Thank you for carrying me, for mending, for speaking when I needed to listen, for listening when I needed to speak. You add, in words you mean, I am gentle with you. I am on your side. I am enough, and you are enough, and together we are home. The bath answers not with words, but with warmth, with a smoothness against your skin that says stay, stay, stay. And you do. The window gathers a little mist at the bottom. The stars peer through the clear space above it. The moon rakes her silver comb through the steam, and everything in the room becomes a soft translation of light. Time is not here anymore in the way it was. There is only this continuous present, a low, luminous river carrying you to its calmest bend. You close your eyes and float your hands away from your heart, letting them drift like small boats whose ropes have been loosened. They find the rim of the tub and perch there. Your shoulders fold down another fraction, and the water rearranges gently to make room for your ease. Your breath goes quieter still. If there is any sentence left to finish, it chooses its own ending and sets itself down with the other smooth stones. And so the sanctuary is made, not by porcelain or salt or flame alone, but by your willingness to arrive. The room holds the shape of your calm. The night, through the open window, leans closer as if to learn from you the art of softening. You are a small sun inside this moonlit world, warming what you touch, forgiven for all you couldn't finish, thanked for all you did, invited to do nothing at all but rest. Stay as long as you like. The water will keep its kindness. The candles will keep their glow. Outside, the world will go on becoming more itself by becoming quieter, and in here, you will go on becoming more yourself by doing the same. If you need a sentence to take with you deeper into the warmth, it can be this one, so simple it feels like breath. I am safe. I am loved. I am enough. Part 2. A second evening. The room is hushed, dim, wrapped in the soft serenity of evening. You move closer to the bathtub, its porcelain form gleaming faintly in the low golden glow of candles. Their small flames flicker, and each flame dances like a secret whispered to the night. Shadows play upon the tiled walls, gentle and slow, reminding you that time has no urgency here. You are free to linger. You are free to take your time. The faucet waits, polished and cool beneath your hand. When you turn it, a thin rush of water answers. At first, it is the hush of a stream hidden in the forest, a thin silver thread of sound, delicate and clear. But as the tap opens wider, the water grows louder, fuller, swelling into the gentle roar of abundance. The porcelain vessel begins to fill, and you listen, heart slowing, body easing into rhythm with the constant soothing sound. The water's voice changes as the tub deepens, at first a ringing splash, high and crystalline. Then, as the pool forms, it softens into a liquid hush, a velvet murmur like a lullaby sung in the language of rivers. Each drop that strikes, each current that swirls, seems to cleanse the air itself, washing away any tension lingering within you. You watch the surface glimmer in the candlelight. Moonlight drifts through the window, laying silver upon the rising pool, mingling with gold reflections from the candles. Water becomes mirror, water becomes sky, water becomes sanctuary. You lean in and breathe deeply. There is the warmth of steam already curling up like invisible fingers, brushing against your face, carrying with it scents both subtle and sweet. The fragrance of soap rests nearby, clean and comforting, a reminder of tenderness. Vanilla curls from the candle, soft and rich, wrapping you in a sweetness that feels like love itself. Somewhere beneath, a note of jasmine lingers, elusive, unfolding like a secret bloom at midnight. And there is always the pure, simple scent of water itself, fresh, open, cleansing, eternal. You rest your hand in the filling bath. The first touch is warm, tender, forgiving. It slips across your fingers like silk, like a promise kept. You swirl it gently, and bubbles form, fragile and glistening. They catch the light and glow with soft rainbows, rising like little stars from the surface before bursting in silence. You watch them, mesmerized by their fleeting beauty, each one a reminder of how delicate and precious moments can be. As the water rises, you prepare to enter. Slowly, without haste, you slip from your coverings, shedding not only layers of fabric, but of the day itself. Every garment falls away like a memory, like an old story that no longer belongs to you. You are lighter with each release, freer with each quiet gesture of letting go. By the time you stand before the waiting bath, you are both vulnerable and whole. Soft skin bathed in candlelight, body open to peace, soul ready for gentleness. You step forward. The first foot enters the water and warmth rises instantly, surrounding your ankle, holding it tenderly. Then the other foot follows, and the sensation grows richer, more enveloping, until you lower yourself slowly, inch by inch, into this liquid embrace. The warmth slides up your legs, cradling your calves, surrounding your knees, rising to your thighs. You breathe deeper with every moment. When your body finally sinks into the water, there is a soft sound, a sighing ripple, as though the bath itself is welcoming you. You are enveloped, cocooned, wholly embraced by warmth. Muscles surrender without effort. Skin tingles with gentle heat. The heart loosens its grip. The mind eases its pace. And you know you are safe here. You are cherished here. The water lifts you slightly, as though reminding you that you do not have to carry yourself tonight. You may float. You may rest. You may allow yourself to be held. The porcelain curves around you like an ancient cradle, timeless and steady, while water soothes every contour of your body with its tender weight. Candles glow above the rim of the tub, their light mirrored endlessly in the ripples. Shadows sway in rhythm with the flickering flames, creating a world that moves gently around you. Steam rises and softens the edges of everything. Walls blur, ceiling melts into haze. The line between water and air dissolves. You are suspended in a dream, a place where nothing harsh can touch you. You scoop water into your hands and let it fall against your skin. Droplets cascade down your arms, a gentle rain, a private waterfall. You pour it across your shoulders, and warmth spreads deeper, muscle by muscle. You let it trail down your chest, down your abdomen, across your hips, each rivulet like the touch of something kind, something knowing. The water does not judge, it simply receives you. It simply loves you. As you sink lower, submerging more of yourself, the water meets the base of your neck, cradling your head just above the surface. You close your eyes, and the world narrows to sound and sensation. The steady rush of water still filling the tub becomes a lullaby. The distant night outside the window continues its song, an owl calling from far away, a cricket chirping beneath the stars, the faint whisper of wind through trees. They gather into a chorus of softness, music born of the night itself, all of it reminding you that you are not alone. The world around you is alive, awake, and it sings for your comfort. In this moment, you breathe deeply and you whisper inwardly, I am safe. I am at peace. I am allowed to rest. The affirmations ripple through you as surely as the warmth of the water. They reach into tired muscles. They reach into quiet corners of the heart. They reach into thoughts that once hurried and now have grown still. Every part of you listens. Every part of you receives. You trail your hand across the water's surface, and it feels like silk unfurling endlessly beneath your fingers. You press your palm against the warmth and then lift it, watching droplets fall back into the bath, merging again into the whole. You notice how easily water accepts. It does not resist. It does not cling. It simply receives and holds over and over again. You realize you too can be like water. You can soften. You can receive. You can hold without burden. You can rest without guilt. As you recline deeper, the back of your head finding rest against a soft towel folded on porcelain, you release a sigh that seems to come from beyond words. It is the sigh of relief, of surrender, of knowing that for this night, for this bath, there is nothing required of you except to be. The bath is your sanctuary. The warmth is your healing. The night is your companion. And as you drift in this sacred water, you remember once more, I am enough. I am whole. I am cherished. I am safe. The water continues to rise, though you scarcely notice anymore. Your awareness has softened, expanded, dissolving into the hush of sound and glow of light. The filling of the tub is no longer just a practical act. It has become a ceremony, a slow offering of warmth, a devotion poured into porcelain. Each second is a step deeper into a sanctuary you are weaving around yourself. You lean back against the curve of the tub, your hair brushing against the folded towel, your eyes drifting closed. Behind your lids, candlelight still flickers, painting shapes and colors across the darkness of your vision. They move in slow rhythm like lanterns floating upon a midnight river. You let yourself be carried by them. You allow yourself to wander into their glow. Steam rises steadily now, kissing your cheeks, curling strands of hair at your temples. You feel it slide across your skin, warm, feather-light, constant. With every breath, you draw it into your lungs, and the air itself seems to bathe you, to caress the inner spaces of your chest, to soften you from the inside out. The scents deepen with the heat. Vanilla thickens into something rounder, fuller, a sweetness that feels both indulgent and pure. Jasmine lingers at the edges, not loud, never demanding, but always there, a secret companion unfolding only when you are still enough to notice. And beneath it, the clean mineral clarity of water grounds you, roots you, connects you to something eternal. The sounds have layered into a kind of symphony, the constant murmur of water falling into water, the occasional drip against porcelain, sharp yet soothing, the faint crackle of candle flames breathing into the quiet air, and outside the chorus of night, the low hum of crickets, the distant call of an owl, the sigh of leaves, stirred by passing breezes. You realize every sound is gentle, every sound is tender. The world outside has slowed to match the rhythm of your body. You rest your hand against your chest. Beneath the warmth of your palm, your heart beats, steady and faithful. You listen, you feel, and you whisper inwardly with reverence, I am alive, I am here, I am grateful for this breath, this body, this moment of stillness. You take another slow breath, letting it expand into your ribs, feeling them open like a blossoming flower. The water cradles you more deeply as your body rises slightly with the inhale, then settles again with the exhale. You are moving in rhythm with the water, with the night, with the entire living world. You trail your toes along the smooth porcelain beneath the water. It is cool compared to the warmth around it, a reminder of contrast, a reminder of balance. You curl your toes, then release them, noticing how even the smallest movements ripple outward, sending tiny waves across the surface. Candles flicker in those waves, and a light dances across the walls, as though the room itself is alive with your presence. You dip both hands into the water, cupping them together, lifting. You watch as the liquid gathers, translucent, shimmering in golden and silver light. You hold it as though it were precious, as though it were a jewel, and in truth it is. Water is ancient, eternal, always giving. You tip your hands, and the water falls again in a small cascade, splashing across your arms, flowing back into the bath. It is an act of offering, an act of return. As droplets trail across your skin, you notice how sensitive you are to every touch, every texture. The slick glide of water, the soft prickling of steam, the almost imperceptible touch of air on wet skin, cooler, sharper, waking nerves in contrast to the warmth that surrounds them. Sensation itself becomes sacred. Every feeling is amplified, expanded, slowed. You lean your head to one side, allowing your ear to touch the water. Immediately the world changes. Sound shifts, muffled and resonant, as though you have entered another dimension. The rush of the faucet becomes distant thunder. The night sounds become whispers through walls of liquid, and underneath it all, you hear the inner rhythm of your own body, the pulse of your heart reverberating through water, the breath sighing through your nose, the hush of your own living presence. You are reminded, this is what safety feels like. To be held, to be supported, with no need to guard, no need to hurry, only to rest. Your inner voice rises again, soft and kind, speaking to you as you float. I deserve this peace. I deserve this tenderness. I allow myself to be cared for. You repeat it quietly, almost without words, more as sensation than thought. Each repetition deepens your surrender. Each affirmation opens you to receiving. The tub is nearly full now, and you ease the faucet closed. The sound of rushing water ceases, and in its place remains a profound hush. The silence is not empty. It is rich, alive, filled with the hum of candles, the whisper of night, the still presence of water surrounding you. It is silence that soothes, silence that heals. You slide your body deeper, letting the water reach higher upon your chest, almost to your chin. It holds you in perfect balance, warmth above, warmth below, warmth everywhere. Your arms float outward, drifting at your sides, fingers moving lazily, trailing little wakes through the surface. You could stay like this forever. You close your eyes again, and the bath becomes not just a place but a world. Behind your lids, you see shimmering fields of light. You feel yourself drifting through endless night skies. The water is no longer just water. It is the ocean. It is the womb. It is the universe itself, and you are safe within it. You inhale deeply. You exhale slowly. And you remind yourself once more, I am safe, I am loved, I am enough, I am whole. The words drift through you like warm currents, like tides that carry you deeper into stillness. Here, in this sanctuary of porcelain and water, of flame and night, of silence and song, you are held completely. You are nourished completely. You are free completely, and time itself stretches into eternity. Part 3. The Deepening Stillness. The faucet has been stilled. The room has settled into its truest quiet, a quiet so profound it feels alive. It is the kind of silence that does not simply exist but breathes with you. You are floating now in the embrace of warm water, the porcelain tub cradling you like an ancient vessel, candles casting their honeyed light across the walls, shadows shifting with each subtle flicker. The first rush of entering the bath, the contrast of hot water against cool air has softened. Now there is only equilibrium. Warmth has seeped into you, into every muscle, every joint, every sinew. It has reached your very bones, loosening the tensions that may have lingered, coaxing you into deeper surrender. Above you, the ceiling glows faintly, washed by candlelight. It feels far away, as though you were gazing up at a night sky painted in gold. You let your eyes half close, not to block the sight, but to soften it, to blur the edges, until everything becomes a dreamy haze, a watercolor world where shapes dissolve into softness. Your body is almost weightless now. The water bears you up with a gentle insistence, reminding you that you do not need to hold yourself. You do not need to carry. Here, you are carried. You feel your hair fanning out behind you, strands drifting like silk ribbons in a current. When you shift your head slightly, they ripple across the water's surface, catching the candlelight in a delicate pattern. They seem like threads of starlight trailing behind you, weaving constellations upon the bath's still surface. The surface itself is a mirror of light. Candle flames bend and shimmer across it, the reflection stretching, bending, breaking into fragments with each faint ripple you create. It is as though fire and water are dancing together, playing across the boundaries of the room. This dance, too, lulls you deeper because here opposites do not clash, they embrace. You breathe slowly, deeply, listening to the sound of your own inhale. The air is warm, infused with the mingling scents of soap, vanilla, and jasmine. They rise around you, sweet yet subtle, like an unseen garden blooming in the quiet of night. You imagine the jasmine flowers opening under moonlight, their pale petals glowing in the dark, releasing their fragrance as an offering. You imagine the vanilla candles as warm embers, their sweetness curling into the air like a lullaby. Every breath you take brings this fragrance deeper into you until you are not merely smelling, you are becoming part of it. You are the jasmine unfolding. You are the warmth of the flame. You are the sweetness of vanilla lingering in the air. Your hand floats up from beneath the water, droplets streaming down your wrist, falling back with delicate splashes. You lift your fingers to your lips and taste, not the water itself, but the very idea of it, clean, pure, ancient, the essence of life itself. And with this gesture, you feel a quiet reverence. You remember that you too are water, that your body is a flowing river, that your blood is a tide moving within you, that your breath is a wave rising and falling. You remember there is nothing in you that does not belong to this world. You let your arm drift back down, the water closing over it in a soft embrace. It is as though the bath welcomes you each time anew, each time you move, each time you surrender. Your inner voice whispers gently, almost like the voice of the bath itself. I am held. I am supported. I do not need to rush. I do not need to try. I am enough just as I am. You repeat this silently until the words dissolve, until they no longer feel like words, but simply truth echoing softly within you. Outside the window, the night hums on. Crickets sing in steady rhythm, a lullaby of earth. The faint call of an owl drifts through the air, then fades again into silence. The breeze stirs branches, leaves whispering together like gentle voices, and above it all, the stars gleam, unseen but felt, their light finding its way through the glass, pouring silvery calm into the room. You imagine that starlight streaming down into the bath itself, mingling with the gold glow of candlelight, creating a shimmering veil around you. Moonlight brushes against your cheek, pale and cool, a counterpoint to the warmth below. It feels like a blessing, a benediction from the sky. The water is perfectly still now. You make no movement, and it mirrors that stillness back to you. In its surface, you see yourself, not clearly, not sharply, but softened, made luminous by the flickering glow. Your reflection is not an image of how you appear, but of how you are, peaceful, glowing, eternal. You gaze upon yourself as though seeing a dear friend, and within you rises a gentle affirmation. I love who I am becoming. I honor the soul within me. I allow myself to shine softly like the stars without needing to prove or strive. Your chest rises with another slow breath. Your lungs fill, then empty, and each exhale sinks you further into the cradle of the bath. You feel your body dissolving, not disappearing, but merging. You are not separate from this water, this room, this night. You are part of it. You are woven into it. And the longer you remain here, the more the bath becomes a mirror of your inner stillness. The water is your silence. The candlelight is your warmth. The fragrances are your softness. The night is your infinite soul. Time drifts away. Minutes stretch into something timeless, something eternal. Your body loosens further. Your shoulders drop, unburdened. Your jaw relaxes, unclenching. Your brow smooths as though every worry has slipped away, dissolved into steam, into water, into nothing. You realize how much weight you carry, often without noticing, how much your body holds, and here, in this ritual, it is all released. I am free from all heaviness. I am light. I am ease. I am peace itself. The words flow through you like water. They do not demand belief. They simply are. They are truths waiting for you to remember them. Your fingers drift outward, brushing against the curve of the porcelain. It is smooth, cool against the warmth of the water. You trace its edge slowly, feeling the texture, the solidity. It grounds you. You are reminded, this is real. This is here. You are not lost in dream. You are safe within something tangible, something steady, and within that safety, you are free to wander as far as your mind will take you. For a while, you close your eyes completely. In the darkness, you feel every detail more vividly, the warmth of water around your body, the rhythm of your breath, the scent of flowers and flame, the faint whisper of the night outside. You are cocooned in sensation, yet all of it is gentle, all of it is soothing, all of it is guiding you into deeper stillness. It feels almost as though you are floating in the space between worlds, in the space between waking and dreaming, not asleep, not fully awake, but in a sacred in-between where time holds no meaning. And in that space, you whisper to yourself, I am timeless, I am infinite, I am one with the stillness of the universe. The words echo, reverberating gently within you until they no longer belong only to you, they belong to the night itself. You drift further into this cocoon of warmth, the bath wrapping you in a timeless embrace. The water no longer feels like water, it feels like silk, like liquid velvet holding you in softness. Every inch of your skin is kissed by warmth, every nerve soothed, every breath slowed. Time dissolves. The edges of the room blur as though you are not within walls at all, but floating in some endless expanse. The flickering glow of the candles becomes constellations, scattered lights across the dark. The fragrance of jasmine and vanilla become a night wind carrying whispers of distant gardens. The bath becomes a pool, not of water, but of stars. You are suspended here, weightless, unbound. And as you surrender to this sensation, you begin to notice how deeply the silence moves within you. At first, it seems as though the silence belongs to the room, the absence of sound, the soft hum of night outside. But as you rest here, you feel the silence within you. It's not an emptiness. It is not hollow. It is full of presence, full of possibility, a silence that is alive, a silence that listens. You realize that this silence has always been there beneath the noise of thoughts, beneath the clamor of the day. It is the silence of your soul, the silence of your breath when it pauses between inhale and exhale, the silence of your heart when it rests between beats, the silence of your being when it simply is. Here, in the bath, the silence rises. It fills the space, fills your body until you are no longer resting in silence. You are resting as silence. Your eyes drift closed. Darkness blooms behind them, velvety and soft. But even in this darkness, there is light. Gentle flickers like stars far away, twinkling across an inner sky. You watch them appear, one by one, until you feel as though you are lying in the center of a universe contained entirely within you. The water cradles you. It rocks you so subtly with the faintest currents of your breath. You feel as though you are floating in amniotic warmth, safe, eternal, reborn. Your mind begins to wander, but slowly, gently. It does not dart or race, it drifts. Images rise and dissolve as naturally as waves. A memory softened by time, a face you love, glowing with kindness, a place you once stood where the air smelled of rain. They appear, shimmer, and fade as if painted in watercolor upon the canvas of your mind. You do not cling to them. You do not push them away. You let them drift as the water drifts. They are part of the current, part of the flow. And through this flow, you feel a truth whispering itself to you. I am not my thoughts. I am not my memories. I am not my worries. I am something deeper, something vaster, something eternal. The words come not as language, but as knowing. They bloom in your chest, spreading warmth outward until it fills your entire body. You feel yourself glowing from within, your heart a lantern shining through your skin, through the water, through the walls, through the night itself. In this glow, you feel your body more clearly, the heaviness of your limbs as they float, the rhythm of your breath, slow and steady, the beat of your heart, gentle and strong. You realize how miraculous it is, this body, how faithfully it carries you, how tirelessly it breathes and beats and moves, even when you are unaware. You place a hand against your chest, feeling the steady thrum of life beneath your palm. And in this moment, you whisper a thank you. Thank you, body. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for carrying me through each day, each night, each moment of my life. The water holds you as though it too hears this gratitude, as though it joins you in reverence. You let your hands drift back beneath the water, watching the ripples spread outward in widening circles. They shimmer in the candlelight, each ripple carrying your gratitude into the world, into the unseen vastness beyond these walls. Your gratitude grows. You think of your breath the way it flows without effort. Thank you, breath. Thank you for feeding me with life, for calming me, for reminding me that I am alive. You think of your senses, the ability to see the glow of the candles, to hear the soft hum of night, to smell the sweetness of flowers and flame, to touch the warmth of water. Thank you, senses. Thank you for letting me experience the miracle of this moment. You think of your spirit, the part of you that longs for stillness, that seeks beauty, that rests here now in reverence. Thank you, soul. Thank you for reminding me that I am more than my body, more than my mind. Thank you for being the quiet light within me. The bath becomes a temple, the silence a prayer, the water a sacred vessel. You are no longer simply taking rest. You are communing with something holy, something infinite. The candles flicker, their flames bending and straightening as though bowing in acknowledgement of your presence. The scent in the air grows richer, as if the jasmine blossoms more fully, as if the vanilla deepens its sweetness just for you. You breathe it in. You let it become part of you. And in that breath you realize this stillness is not something you must create. It has always been here, waiting beneath the noise of life. It is your natural state. It is who you are when the world is quiet. I am stillness itself. I am peace itself. I am the quiet glow of the universe made flesh. The affirmation hums through you, not loud, not demanding, but steady like the pulse of the earth. You let yourself sink even deeper, sliding until your ears are beneath the water. The sound of the room muffles, softens until you hear only the hush of liquid around you, the echo of your own heartbeat reverberating in the water. It is like being within the womb of the world, hearing the primordial song of life itself. You linger here, letting that sound lull you. The rhythm of your heart becomes the rhythm of the night. You are the drumbeat of existence, steady, eternal. When you rise again, water dripping from your ears, the silence of the room feels even more profound, as though the world has shifted into a deeper key. The candles flicker, the air is warm, your breath is steady, and you are weightless, infinite, dissolved. Time does not matter here. Perhaps it has been minutes, perhaps hours. The bath, the silence, the night, they all exist beyond clocks. You let your head tip back, resting on the porcelain's edge, eyes drifting open to the ceiling above. The play of shadow and light makes it appear as though the ceiling is not a ceiling at all, but a shifting sky. You imagine yourself outside, beneath the stars, the universe stretching endlessly above you. And in this imagining, something within you opens. You feel as though your heart lifts upward, as though your very soul rises through your chest, through your throat, through the crown of your head, reaching toward the infinite. You whisper to yourself, I am not bound by walls. I am not bound by time. I am infinite like the sky. I am eternal like the stars. The words float upward, joining the shimmer of light, carried away into the unseen vastness. You return once more to the silence, to the stillness, to the weightlessness. And here you remain, endlessly drifting, endlessly dissolving, endlessly held.